Greetings. Yes, it's time to trim off the mop. I've just been putting it away for a while and wearing a beanie for work because I'm in the car a lot and go outside and it's cooler. But yeah, so I've been kind of hiding the mess a little bit, but um to hopefully not focus on that too much now. Um the outward, and I didn't do this on purpose to say like, look, it's a mess outward. So now that wasn't my intention. That just came up now. But it is true though. Um, that's what people focus on. And I took a look at them, the ones I did with my phone. I thought in the beginning, the first ones I did sounded right, but I'd have to look back. But the last few, the sound quality wasn't that good. Like I could understand, but I had to like really pay attention. It sounded really kind of tinny, and I don't know what happened when I did it with the phone. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe I'll have better sound quality with something other than StreamYard. Maybe I need to try it. I think it was actually better with the other app. It's called something else. What is it called? Stream Labs or something like that. So, today I've been convinced in my own mind that today just ends up being, Sabbath day. And each one has to find out for themselves. I think people that want to seek truth or have good intentions, that's the important thing, whether we know everything or not, we're at least trying, and it's literally based on, the heavens, the moon, because the moon was completely full and 100% lit. What day was it? Just a second. It was completely full. I think it was the 29th, like during the night and then into the morning. So then by the time sunrise came, the moon was already 100% lit. So therefore, the pagan day of December 30th was day one of the month. Because if it were to be the 31st, it would the moon when at sunrise, the moon would already be declining. It wouldn't be previously 100% lit. So new moon day or new day, I have day one, which is Pagan Wednesday this time around, which is the 30th. That's what I got. It makes sense to me. I don't know if I'll be shown something other than this, but so far I haven't for the actual day. It's based on month means moon. This is hard to deny once you read like the 20, 30 verses that literally say that month and moon is like interchangeable. The Messiah said, every word is truth. Your word is truth. And man shall live by every word. So these are words that we're reading. So someone that says it's not important, they can go away. That's fine. They need to have that struggle within themselves then, like Jacob wrestled with the angel, which represents wrestling with the Creator. You're going to wrestle for truth. It's not going to come like on a platter. Here it is. What's going to come on a platter is someone's head, like John the Baptist. That's what comes on platters. Served cold and bloody. This is human nature. It's like a beast. It's no different. It's like a roaring lion that seeks someone to devour. It's the spiritual truth within. So that's what I have now. Since the Pagan Wednesday ends up being the day one, because when the sun, right at sunrise, the moon was setting. So that night, the moon ruled the whole entire night. That's part of the sign. And then later in the night, it was 100% lit at some point, and then at sunrise is a new day always. Therefore, it's day one of the month. So then today would be the 8th day of the month, of the 10th month, I think. It's all backwards. So the true calendar, we're in winter, which everyone knows it's winter time, but we just, went through that New Year's thing where the world says it's a new year. New Year's not until spring every single year. That's what I found to be true. And I found to be true that a day always starts in the morning when the daylight comes out. Very much so makes sense. Very logical, very true, pure. Early in the day, early in the morning is like right when the sun is just coming up, sunset, rise. And in the scripture, somewhere in the Exodus or somewhere else, the word morning there, if you look it up, means new day, another day, the next day, tomorrow. It means tomorrow. So these are just basic foundational things to understand this. Someone has to know that a day starts in the daylight before they can keep his days properly, so they can get the days right. And so then next 7 days from now will be the 15th, and it'll still be Pagan Wednesday, then the 22nd and the 29th. Then there's going to be there's going to be one new moon day, but then if there's a second, it's counted for a new moon day. From what I understand, it's a day of just not working for yourself for any profit or anything. It's not called a Sabbath, but it's just a day where it's kind of like Sabbath, but you just rest pretty much. But you can. I still have to look into that more, but I believe it's just simply not making profit, money, right? You take a rest from that still. I know I'm wandering a little bit from the title, but in the beginning, I didn't think so. I thought this was the hardest thing to prove, his timing, the days and everything, but it actually is one of the easier things to prove because it's painfully easy. Once you see, it's painfully easy to prove that a repeating 7-day week is impossible in Scripture, literally impossible. There's nothing to debate or talk about. Whether someone wants to believe it's important or not, that's one thing, okay? But as far as in the Scripture, His Word, it's not debatable. It's literally impossible, physically, literally impossible. And there's other scenarios that make it impossible. The marching around Jericho makes it impossible and proves that there's another day that needs accounted for there that they had, and other things. But the point of this is the outward will expose the inward, and then the inward, if it's being cleaned, as it's always a process. No one's cleaned and then it's like over. It's done. You don't have to continually be cleaned. Messiah said, "You are clean, only your feet are dirty." But the importance wasn't about washing feet. It's what that means. It's a symbol. The head, the body is clean, see, the head being symbolic too, but the feet, the bottom is dirty and just needs clean. You are already washed, you're clean, he said. That's what Messiah said, that only their feet were dirty, but they were clean. He wasn't talking about like literal water there or real dirt on their bodies. That wasn't the main point. people are unclean inside, inwardly. This is why he said the disciple was clean. They were clean. So there's like the natural, and then there's the spiritual. And when someone sees this, it really makes scripture come together a lot easier. It makes more sense. It really helps to see it. There's a natural law, and then there's spiritual law. When someone keeps the spiritual law, the natural will take care of itself. It will manifest the outward. You will just want to, it'll lead up to doing such and such. It'll just lead, it will take care of itself. That's literally what we're taught. I don't know what verse that is, but if the inside's clean, the outside will be taken care of. That's something like that I read. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I've just been putting it off, but yeah, I've been covering up my hair with the beanie for work and stuff. So it's a mess. I know. Maybe it's telling me something, that something's a little still messed up inside. I don't know, but I need to get it shortened. But it's a battle, though. I'd say the last 2-3 months have been a serious battle. So yeah, I'm not afraid to admit, within, temptation from within is a battle. It's a little messy maybe right now, a little bloody, like that physical wars, with the enemy. But there is a spiritual meaning of that, those wars and battles that his people had with the enemy. And then, war is tiring. If we're thinking like on the natural sense of this, the troops are worn out, tired, and they get messed up from it. So, it could be spiritually tiring to keep his commandments, do his will. But the inward man, like Paul said, is Jew, and the point is not even talking about like literal Jews, like a bloodline. The point is Jew represents here, spiritual Jew represents a true believer, is someone who's one inwardly. That's the main thing. Then the outside will clean itself up. That'll come. And that's the most important thing. So that, how long that takes, I don't know. That's each one's, it's very, life is complex with all the problems people have, but it will come. But if someone's not clean inside, then they're naturally going to have to clean the outside and focus on the outside. And they're really worried about the outside. This is true for everyone. People that don't love truth, what I've seen is it's always a personal attack, which is really discouraging sometimes, because it's not. It's just a care for truth, but it's always an attack to someone that's not of the truth, because the true words are attacking. His word divides and cuts between bone and marrow. If you picture that physically, this is what it's doing spiritually. It's attacking and cutting and slashing. And people don't want to be slashed. They don't want to be cut into pieces or dashed into pieces. This doesn't sound good when you just read it like that. He dashes people to pieces. That's actually a good thing. Ultimately, it's a good thing, but it doesn't feel good. Or maybe imagine your heart being molded right now. Maybe that would make somebody cringe if someone was squeezing their heart and changing its shape. So then it also is true spiritually. It can't be different. It has to be something like that. As I found out, there is no natural thing that contradicts the spiritual. Because the creation, what I believe, was made with this in mind, with like intelligence, with wisdom, that it actually is telling something all the time. So this is why, like for New Year, the New Year is always when things are growing. It's a a restart, fresh start. Days are getting longer. It's conquering the night, and then things are growing and coming back. So it's a cycle over and over again. And then the believers will go through this cycle spiritually, and they'll know it. And they don't want to go through that. They would rather be like, up there, spiritually high, lofty. But then we're warned about being like that all the time. It's like, it's not possible, or else you'll become prideful and then you'll fall. So then they go through this gruesome cycle of day and night. It's not that they're unbelievers just because they're in a little like struggle or something in the night. It's just that it has to be that way. You could pray all you want that it's not like that, and he'll put you through it anyways. Paul prayed for it to take away whatever this thing was, and I think it doesn't say on purpose, because the point is it's true for everything. It's not about the detail for Paul. It's not about that little thing. It's about the actual message. He prayed for it to go away, and it didn't. That could be you for certain things. It could be me. It didn't go away for whatever reason, because Paul put his trust in our Creator to take away these things, whatever it is, or a spiritual problem, whatever it is. If you do that, then you're within his will. There's no more condemnation. That means you're relying on the Father to take away whatever it is, even though you have to still go through whatever it is, still have to battle it. People that are not with, not in this, unbelievers, fake believers that just clean the outside, and that's all they focus on is the outside. That verse doesn't apply to people like that. Therefore, there is no condemnation, but there is an expectation, though. It's a high calling. You won't expect a believer to be in some kind of massive sin like Paul caught the assemblies, the groups, or the churches, if you want to use that word, the assemblies. And he said, aren't they yet carnal? Because if the Messiah is working in you, there's certain things that are they were doing some really blatantly horrible stuff that, like, not even the pagans were doing. I think we read something like that, or maybe not as often. We do read that. The Messiah teaches that too. The children of the night have more light in them than the children of the day. Something like that. That's what it means anyways. There's some like that. Basically, he's saying what's going on with the believers. These people have more light in them than you do. So this is what it is to be clean on the outside. It's not very. It's good by itself, but then when that's the only care focus, then it's not good. It becomes puke, like I've said before. Well, keeping his days becomes puke if the inward is corrupt. I fully believe that's why it says he says, I hate your Sabbaths, I hate your new moon days, I hate your days. These were commandments. He hates them because they're in hypocrisy. That's why. They would be good if the inside was being cleaned. Then it would be good, but it's not good since their inside was filthy. And I think it says that they were full of blood too, As long as someone is focusing or acknowledging or seeing these spiritual things, because someone can talk about being bloody on the outside and, but then they don't really focus on spiritual anything. What about being spiritually bloody? Which would be like, I murdered someone today. Well, that's blood. I suppose, yes, it would be worse to end somebody's life because, you ended their life. But it's still murder, though, if you hate someone. So yeah, that's if that's considered every day, then it's not an easy way, is it? Or if lying is considered, then it's not an easy way. If you lie to yourself or lie in your mind and keep your mouth shut, it's not any, he tests the heart. It's not, you're not hiding. I'm not hiding. There's going to be a judgment for that, a blinding. So when people are outwardly manifesting breaking commandments, it's obvious the inside, something's not right inside. It's just already obvious. Like if somebody murders someone, it's painfully obvious that they're in spiritual wickedness inside, right? I mean, that's just painfully obvious. And then this applies with every other commandment. Someone commits physical adultery, it's obviously inside that they've already committed adultery before that, and that they're have gave in to whatever temptation. And it's likened to filth, dung, what goes in the stomach and is purged out, is likened to this adultery, the murders, the theft coming from the heart outside of the mouth. That's what he was talking about. That's the meaning. It's likened to, this physical trash, dung, that's purged out of the stomach. This is the adultery, the theft, the murder, whatever words he used there. Obviously not a complete list, but the teaching is that's what it's likened to. See this? This is filth. This is gross. This is what it's like to the Father to do these spiritual things. So if the spiritual inward man is corrupt, then the outward doesn't really count for anything. It becomes trash. If someone doesn't even acknowledge the natural law and commandments, then how on earth will they acknowledge spiritual? Someone can say that they could do that, but that's not what I read. Messiah said it plainly, simple as day. If Nicodemus couldn't understand natural things, maybe he understood some, but he was lacking somewhere, then how on earth could he understand heavenly things? You can't. You can't. It's not allowed, because that's his word. I'm not making that up. Someone doesn't have to agree with that or believe it, but that's what I read. That's what I believe and understand. Someone is not understanding all these natural things. They surely don't understand spiritual things or heavenly things from above. The above things are the higher thing. So there's like a physical above, 30,000 feet up. And then there's the meaning of that. His way is higher. His words are higher. His thoughts are higher. But it's not, the true meaning is not 30,000 feet or some number higher. The Father is higher. His thoughts, his word, his way, everything. Who and what he is compared to people. Higher. So then if someone's born from above and has the Father in them, they are from above, higher. I am from above, you are from beneath, carnal. Like Adam from the earth, dirt, lowly. And then, this lowly thing goes back to the earth where it came from. It's like literally true, but it means something spiritual though. This part of you, Messiah is speaking to them, needs to die, go away. It needs to go away. He wasn't talking about being 30,000 feet up in the sky when he said he was standing on the same ground they were, but they didn't understand. Like we read that they didn't understand. The disciples didn't understand, and he even worked miracles. And then they were, the same miracle needed to happen again. The fish, the bread. And they already forgot the first one. someone could read that and say, oh, I'm good. These people, I would never be like that. I'd never forget what the Father did for me the first time, the first miracle. And yet they did forget. So that means you'll forget. That means I'll forget. I don't want to forget. Trip, fall. Like scriptures say, a righteous man will fall 7 times. The perfect cycle of the day and night. The day and night and day and night. And then it dawns to the new day until the dawning of the day. Don't we read that somewhere, Peter or somewhere? Until this becomes full and permanent, no more cycles and tripping and stuff. You'll see him as he is. But right now it's like the spiritual understanding is like looking through a glass and it changes. This is the reality on the other side, but through this thick tinted glass, it looks different from here. That's the point of that. That's the meaning of that. It's never going to be 100% clear, I don't think, the way it needs to be perfectly. If that was so, then we wouldn't read that we see it through a glass darkly. But so when someone, for example, I'll try to connect some things to this title. If someone doesn't want to keep the Sabbath day, for example, and doesn't understand the meaning or purpose of his commandments, it's evident to me, it's obviously evident to our Creator, that they are spiritually in some kind of darkness, corrupt still, wicked, They don't even have the intentions of doing so. Now, if someone believes I'm teaching lies or something, I haven't ever seen any counter to this. Show me through the scriptures how this is lies. Now, people have claimed that, and I haven't seen them own up to that claim, which is sad. I've seen people say that on video. Show me where I'm lying or screwing up or not understanding in the scripture. And I've done that, and they didn't accept it. They didn't hear anything. And then a couple videos later, they're saying the same thing. They're implying and getting everyone to believe that they're teaching truth by saying, show me where I err if I err. No one's going to usually do that. But then I did see some kind of error. And I didn't see any scripture given back or anything back. In fact, I saw hiding, running away. They didn't answer or own up to it. Now, I'm not going to go into about what it was exactly, what it was specifically that I saw that I believe needed some kind of correction. To this day, I still have, and then there's only so much you can do. And I've wrote giant things on YouTube comments, trying to draw it out. Nothing. No answer, no other side to that. Like, okay, what you're saying is not right because, not even remotely like that. Nothing. I got nothing. And they're claiming, show me, Show me in the scriptures where it says, do not keep the Sabbath. Show me and I'll be shocked beyond belief. I'll be shocked so much I won't believe anymore. Show me in the scriptures where it says it's a sin or carnal to keep his commandment. Show me where it says adultery is okay. Do it. Thou shalt commit adultery. Thou shalt not keep the Sabbath. It doesn't exist. and they know it doesn't exist, yet they teach, they imply exactly that. So now show me in the scriptures and connect spiritual things with spiritual and do all this. Show me now the people that deny and imply and teach false things. Show me where this is. They can't do it. They know they can't do it. So they get angry and then they want to stab, stab, stab. Get rid of him, kill him. Like they wanted to kill Messiah because he gave truth and they couldn't counter it. Because when truth is given, there is no counter. It's the truth. It's not an opinion. It's scriptural truth from above. This truth exists, but then it's about knowing it and understanding it. There is a truth that exists. Then you need to have that truth. When it's given, since it is true, there's nothing to counter it. There is no scripture that says don't keep the Sabbath. People will literally say, oh, he got changed to like some pagan day on the calendar to Sunday. Where's the scripture that says that? It doesn't. It just says what people did during a certain day. It just, here's their experience. Here's what people are doing. This is what they did. They brought in some help from Jerusalem or back to Jerusalem because there were some people in need. Here's what they did. It's not a commandment anywhere that the day changed, went to the 8th or the 9th or the 20th or the 2nd or 3rd day. It's still the 7th. It's not in there and they know it. And I've had these talks with people about the Sabbath, They deny natural things. They deny the commandments. They deny Moses. They deny the law. So then they're obviously not in spiritual rest. If they don't even understand the natural point of it, it's not possible. If you don't believe in Moses, you don't believe in Messiah. That's what Messiah said. He spoke of me. If you don't believe in Moses, the one who spoke of me, you don't believe in me. He told the Pharisees. It's still true now. If you don't acknowledge Moses, meaning that the law and commandments that Moses received from our Creator, Moses didn't make them up, that they're righteous and they're good, then how on earth are you going to be spiritual and understand spiritual things and follow the Messiah spiritually within? Oh, sorry, I didn't. I hope you see this. I didn't see this comment. I had something blocking it. So timely what you're, I'll just put it here. There we go. So timely what you're addressing. I'm so angry lately. Angry at God. I can't help it. I have no self-control. I cry in pain over my wretched self. I cry for help and nothing. My inside is rotten. So obvious. Thanks for sharing. This has been my battle lately. Exactly those same words. So don't think you're the only one. I hope you come back to see this. I don't see anybody watching right now. I wasn't trying to ignore it. I just literally didn't see the comment. And I don't think there's any way to reply to this. I don't think you'll see anything. I see your message. Not just literally. I don't think that's going to send a message out. I don't know. Well, I think this is what the Apostle Paul was talking about too, You have to understand what he was saying, because on the surface, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like contradictions and sin or something. When he says, what I want to do, I don't, and what I shouldn't do, I do. What a wretched man I am. Can Moses save me? Can physical things save me? No, I don't think they can. The flesh profits nothing. Really has to come from above. Father has to change us within. He's got to do the works. And he's going to make sure you realize how wretched you are. And I don't like this at all. This makes me very angry. And I'm not just talking. I've been angry lately. And I don't want to be angry. I've even raged, within myself. Raging, man, because I don't like what I see within. And I'm tired of being, I want to see something, but it's not there exactly how I want it to be. So then it makes me angry. And I might even yell or scream or something. I'm wondering when, if not right now, if not yesterday, well then when? And then, you read all those verses, they exist. A lot of verses on, maybe I can find something real quick, on waiting. What's this waiting all about? Let me see if I type in the word wait, if I find something. Wait. Let's go Old Testament only then. I shouldn't really do this because this wasn't very thought out. But you know of the verses, they exist. Wait on him, My soul, wait thou only upon God, Elohim, for my expectation is from him. My expectation is from him. Psalm 62:5. It's interesting it brought up this too. But if any man hate his neighbor and lie in wait for him and rise up against him and smite him mortally that he die, fleeth, and then it goes on. People lie in wait to destroy people. It's like a roaring lion that sits there and waits for its food. People do this. This is what makes me angry. Is that I can say that people are beasts and I'm a beast and mankind is a beast. And then the beast wants to change and then it does things it doesn't want to see. Psalm 62, my soul, wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. In Elohim is my salvation and my glory. Not in self, right? In him. So you could say that this man is righteous and does good and has glory, but it's not from himself. In the Father, my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength and my refuge in God. Trust in him at all times. Ye people, pour out your heart before him. Elohim is a refuge for us. Pour out your heart before him. I don't know if screaming in anger counts. I hope so. Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in the balance, they are together lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. There's a word. Who's following this one word? It's a lot to follow. What if your riches increase? It says not to set your heart on them. Well, that's what man naturally wants to do. How are you going to do that? Father has spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto him. Also unto thee, O Father, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. I think this fits what I'm talking, but then a lot of things fit when you speak on some subject and then you just read from random scripture and it fits because it's all connected. Early will I seek you, soul thirsts for you, my flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory, because your loving kindness is better than life. My lips shall praise you. I will bless you while I live. I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness. Mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you on my bed, I meditate on you in the night watches, because you have been my help. Therefore, in the shadow of your wings, I will rejoice. Messiah said he would like them to come under his wings like a chick comes under a hen's wings. My soul follows close behind you. Your right hand upholds me. But those who seek my life to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth. They shall fall by the sword. They shall be a portion for jackals. But the king shall rejoice in the Father. Everyone who swears by him shall glory, but the mouth of those who speak lies shall be stopped. Father shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded, so he will make them stumble over their own tongue. All who see them shall flee away. All men shall fear. Blessed is the man you choose. I don't even know if I've ever read that before, because I haven't read every single word in Scripture, but I would say I need to. Blessed is the man you choose and cause to approach you, that he may dwell in your courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of your house, of your holy temple. That's a big verse. Blessed is the man you choose, not blessed is the man that chooses himself, that chooses someone else, ordains them to be some kind of God with this intention, that's the intention. Blessed is the man you choose and cause to approach you. What if he doesn't do that? By awesome deeds in righteousness you will answer us, O God of our salvation. You are the confidence of all the ends of the earth and of the far-off seas, who established the mountains by his strength. You will still the noise of the seas, the noise of the waves, and the tumult of the peoples. Yet the people are like the waves, tossed, raging, never any rest. Well, I think I'm going to have to finish up this video so it's not terribly long. Make a joyful shout to the Father, all the earth. Sing out the honor of his name. Make his praise glorious. See, when we're in this battle, it's kind of hard to do this, isn't it? Wouldn't it be like faking it? And that's what it is to be only religious, only washing the outside, only focusing on the outside. It's just, then you're just faking and forcing these things. He turned the sea into dry land. They went through the river on foot. There we will rejoice in him. He rules by his power forever. His eyes observe the nations. Do not let the rebellious exalt themselves. For you, O God, have tested us. You have refined us as silver is refined. You brought us into the net. You laid affliction on our backs. You have caused men to ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water. See, these things mean a lot more than just going through the Red Sea, just the physical water, you know. We went through the fire and through the water, but you brought us out to rich fulfillment. I will go to your house with burnt offerings. I will pay you my vows, which my lips have uttered. And I think I'm going to end it there. If you pay attention to what the Israelites did after the Creator, what he did for them, then it's pretty scary how that pretty much resembles our own life, I think. Pretty scary that the same thing's repeating. Oh, he did something for somebody, and they know it. And then they start being like those Israelites and forgetting it all, and then even complaining, and then, you know, I guess that's why Paul says, don't be like them. How are you going to not be like them? This is their examples for you, for your admonition, not to repeat all those things. So it's all in his hands, but at the end of the day, I'm just a piece of clay, a drop, and he's going to mold however he wants to mold. But it, it does say to ask for these things, and he'll hear him out, just not usually the way you want it, in your timing, never, almost. So then this comment here that I got on the screen is pretty much the sum of what a believer goes through right there, those words right there on the screen. People that are only religious, only cleaning the outside of the cup, can't truly say those words and actually believe them. Peace.